The story is Jennifer Lopez is an all but single mum. Her husband has had an affair and she's kicked him out, but now he's kind of around and about, and but she doesn't want him back, but he wants to be back. We don't trust him. He's a slime bag. Meanwhile, into the next door house moves Rent-A-Hunk, who spends an awful lot of time walking around, past windows, taking his t-shirt off.
Don't we all?
And so it spends an awful lot of time doing that, and she's sort of, she's a teacher, and he's younger than her, and obviously it's completely inappropriate. And then one night, nature takes its course.
They get old.
They get older. So one night they get a little bit older together, and she immediately decides this is a very bad thing. At which point he turns from being, hunky neighbour walking around with his shirt off to Mr. Psycho Stalker. At this point...
She should have known that.
She should have known, because she's seen this film before.
Yes.
We've all seen this film before. It was on Channel 5, 10 o'clock Friday, every week from now until forever.
Very good.
Anyway, then the husband comes back, and the husband's trying to re-ingratiate himself with the kid.
Does he have his top on?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Husband top on. Psycho boy next door, top
so
off.
Husbands keep it. That's how you can spot the crazy guy.
And so he comes in and he makes a total nuisance of himself. And here's a clip of him making a nuisance of himself.
Hey, Dad, this is Noah. Remember I've been talking about him a lot?
Hey, nice to meet you.
I feel like I know you. He talks about you so much. He told me about the alternator you put in the truck.
Oh, actually, Gavin helped out too, so...
Yeah?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was so cool. I had no idea you could do that yourself.
Well, that's what friends are for.
Hey, Mrs. Peterson.
Hey, Noah.
Wow, looks perfect. You tell him what happened this weekend?
What happened?
Oh, there was a big thunderstorm up here. You guys didn't get it up there?
No, beautiful. Dries the bone at the lake.
Well, it got pretty wet here.
Wow.
You know what? Big day tomorrow, first day of school. It's getting kind of late.
It's like 8:30.
No. Actually, I gotta get going. It's a big day tomorrow. I'll walk out with you, Mr. Peterson.
Oh, I'm gonna stay around a while, thanks.
Well, I'll walk out with you, Noah. Yeah, come on. Do you want to take a cookie for the road?
Love your mother's cookies.
They're great, right?
Nice to meet you.
Hey, you too, pal.
They sounded all shirted there. I was trying.
Oh, he was wearing a tight t-shirt whilst making innuendo. You were picking up on the innuendo. Fine. And then it follows the natural course that now he's more and more obsessed, and he's more and more stalkery, and everything gets more and more. So it's one of those things. I saw it in a screening room, and it just everything about it said made for DVD. In America, it's played fairly well. Apparently, the audience has skewed to more women members than is the sort of standard demographic. And as I said, it's more than made its money back. And it does. You know that phrase that we use about putting tab A into slot B. Well, that doesn't even begin to cover.
Which doesn't work because tab A
should go into slot A. But it doesn't even begin to cover just quite how generic it is. There was apparently, when it came into the BBFC, one brief moment of violence that would have pushed it over into an 18 certificate. They just trimmed that out and made it 15 certificate, which means it's utterly middle of the road. It's not bad. It's just headed very, very soon for a 10 o'clock slot on Channel 5. But it's... honestly, you could watch the first 10 minutes of it, and I could say to you, okay, fine, tell me how the rest of it goes. And you go, okay, well, that happens, and that happens, and that, and that. If you were watching videos, I know this is sort of my default position, because I used to work as the video reviewer for Sight and Sound in the 1980s. And there was a period when every week there'd be a slew of straight-to-video erotic thrillers. And many of them would have exactly this same plot. And many of them would look exactly like this movie, and would be done no worse, incidentally. $4 million for a straight-to-video movie is quite a big budget. $4 million for a theatrical movie is nothing at all. So the thing's turned a profit. But it is absolutely, by numbers, could have been directed by a robot, but isn't bad, is exactly what it says on the tin, and will provide staple viewing for people home from the pub on a Friday night who are undiscerningly drifting through the channels and suddenly, stumble across Jennifer Lopez and a bloke with his shirt off.